Welcome back to another episode of 100 Southeast Asian Films in 100 Days. And today we'll be going through these 5 films. And the first one this week, Wonderful Town by Aditya Asarat. This is a film that tells you what you want to hear for as long as you like, does so until it's able to manipulate you and breaks your heart at the end when it's done with you. It's like a toxic relationship. I like the choice of how quiet, subtle, affectionate, and sweet kind of visual and pacing. I would describe it as a soft and tender touch. The cinematography is gorgeous, not only its frames that tell so much without words, but they also give a sense of what kind of personality the town and the girl has. It's a romantic story of the lady and the man who came out of town, bloomed from an awkward politeness to a quirky, secret relationship that eventually turns tragic at the end. And the second one this week, Butterflies Have No Memory by Lav Diaz. This film centers around nostalgia and memory and how it can change and affect the way we make decisions. The shots for this film is like any other Lav Diaz film, long, still, and lurks when we follow characters. I like it when the scenes here felt visceral. It's a typical director's signature when you are looking at something literal and another emotion would evoke, usually during conversational scenes. I also enjoyed how quote-unquote short this piece is, but very striking given its runtime. One of the characters in the film chooses to remember a positive memory over another, which alters his emotions in which triggers a certain decision, leaving you wondering at the end where you would hope for it to go your way. And the third one this week, 36 by Nawapol Tamrong Ratanarit. This film is a quiet, sad romance story, even more quiet than Wonderful Town, and another one that centers around nostalgia but in the form of photos. The thing that I took notice the most were the locations of the scenes that these took place in. Most of it doesn't feel new, and it gave me that feeling of living in an old memory, or soon to be an old memory. Even the choice of music felt tender to me because it gives you that quick visit. It's like brushing past someone with a sweet smile and never seeing them ever again. And a lot of the shots are quite daydreamy because it doesn't track. For the most part, it's very melancholic. It doesn't present you with answers, but rather you have to think and find the answers, just like a photo. And for the fourth one this week, 15 by Royston Tan. This film is a one-of-a-kind from Singapore and is probably the most honest one about their country's most frowned upon people and culture. The story follows a couple of boys who are called Abangs and are usually unproductive and a menace to society. The film doesn't just explore how harsh and gritty their life is, but it also dives very deep in emotional, existential, and fragile part of their vulnerable selves. I adored the choice of using concrete visuals that are childish and playful because not only it's straightforward on what the characters are conceptualizing, but also indicative on how the characters think. This one's an enjoyable piece, and at the end it just turns very existential and personal. And for the fifth one this week, Good Night Spain by Raya Martin. I'll just say that I have no clue on how to watch this film. It feels cheap, but reading some of the reviews on this seemed like I was missing something, which isn't hard to miss for a film like this. I would probably say that this one would be terrible to watch sober, but maybe good on psychedelics, I'm not sure. If you watch this with zero context, you would have no idea what is going on. But I feel like there's more to trying to understand what this film is trying to say than just consuming it as it is. It's one of those very experimental pieces that either hit or miss. Unfortunately for me, it wasn't even close to the target. And that is this week's 5 films. If you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye.